Water rights laws regarding the Colorado River are as complicated as they are old. In fact, the Colorado River Compact that divides the river into these two basins was signed into law in 1922.
The Colorado River is vanishing. This single waterway runs through some of the driest land in America, but for nearly 40 million people, it has always been the source of life. Cities, farms, and industries were built on its flow. Now that the flow is slipping away, reservoirs are hitting record lows, states are clashing, and officials are scrambling to stop a collapse many fear has already begun. So what exactly happened to this legendary river? The truth is stark. The Colorado River can no longer deliver what it once promised. Stretching nearly 1,500 miles across 7 states, it has powered farms, industries, and cities from Colorado to California. Phoenix, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas were built on its flow. Yet today, that flow is slipping away. The two largest reservoirs in the nation, Lake Mead and Lake Powell, are near record lows. Wide stretches of river are shrinking into sandbanks, and the legal framework designed to safeguard it is beginning to unravel. That framework dates back to 1922. More than a century ago, the 7 basin states signed the Colorado River Compact. The aim was simple: prevent conflict by dividing the water. Each state was guaranteed a share, based on what they believed the river could provide. But those estimates were dangerously inflated. At the time of negotiation, the river was running unusually high. Planners assumed it could yield more than 17 million acre-feet a year. Scientists warned that the long-term average was much lower, but their warnings were dismissed. Now, that miscalculation has come back to haunt the West. For decades, the flaw seemed manageable. States weren't using their full allotments. California, which developed first, claimed the biggest share while others lagged. There was slack in the system, but not anymore. Today, demand has surged. The river's actual supply has dropped closer to 12 or 13 million acre-feet a year, while the system still promises more than 15. That gap has pushed the states into open conflict over what little remains. In 2023, 6 of the 7 states, Arizona, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Wyoming, agreed on a joint plan. Together, they pledged to cut millions of acre-feet of usage over 3 years. These sacrifices would hit families, farms, and businesses alike. But the 6 knew that inaction meant collapse. California said no. Instead of joining the pact, it produced its own plan: smaller cuts, voluntary reductions, and only if conditions grew far worse. Why? Because California holds senior rights. Legally, it gets priority access. Even if the river runs dry, California can claim its full share before others receive a drop. That privilege has become a powder keg. This isn't just about water anymore. It's about equity. And the compact that once united the region is now tearing it apart. The strain is most visible in Arizona. When the first shortage was declared, Arizona took the hardest hit. Not because it was used the most, but because of an old compromise. In the 1960s, Arizona accepted junior rights in exchange for federal investment in its water system. That deal guaranteed one outcome. In times of shortage, Arizona would lose first. And now it has. The Central Arizona Project, the massive canal that carries river water across the desert, is running dry. Farms in Pinal County have already lost their main supply. Some farmers are drilling deeper wells. Others are abandoning land entirely. The ground itself is breaking apart. Roads are splitting open. Fissures cut through neighborhoods. The desert is literally torn. Even cities are under pressure. Housing projects have been paused. Officials are chasing alternatives: recycling, desalination, and long pipelines. But none are cheap and none are fast. They demand years of work and billions of dollars. Then comes Nevada. It receives the smallest allocation, just 300,000 acre-feet. Yet in Las Vegas, every gallon is stretched. Here in the Mojave Desert, the city depends almost entirely on Lake Mead. And somehow, Vegas keeps growing. Casinos, subdivisions, resorts rising from sand. Over the past 2 decades, the city has transformed. Grass lawns were ripped out. Hotels switched to recycled water. Residents were paid to replace yards with desert landscaping. Indoors, nearly every drop is captured, purified, and pumped back to the lake. Even the iconic fountains are bound by strict conservation rules. And for a time, it worked. Despite rapid growth, southern Nevada managed to cut water use by nearly 1/3, becoming one of the most efficient regions in the nation. But now, even efficiency may not be enough. As Lake Mead slips closer to dead pool, even Nevada's deepest intake tunnels are at risk, and the state has no backup. If supplies fall further, the best-managed water system in the desert could still collapse. Yet while Nevada conserves, California delays. While Arizona suffers, California holds firm. 6 states unite and 1 stands apart. So what comes next? Texas isn't part of the compact, but it's already paying the price. Technically, the river bypasses Texas, but crises don't respect borders. As shortages cripple California, Arizona, and Nevada, people are leaving. Businesses are relocating. Pressure is spilling into new regions. Texas is feeling the surge. In the last decade, hundreds of thousands have migrated from the Southwest to Texas, bringing their water needs with them. Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas are swelling, but infrastructure isn't keeping up. At the same time, Texas faces its own droughts. Its southern lifeline, the Rio Grande, is shrinking fast. Reservoirs in the valley are at critical lows. Many farmers haven't seen a full irrigation delivery in years, and as other states lose supply, they look to Texas. Pipelines from East Texas are proposed. Groundwater rights from private landowners are eyed. In scarcity, every drop becomes a battle. Texas is pouring billions into pipelines, desalination, and underground reserves. But the lesson is clear. The Colorado River's collapse spreads far beyond its basin. And Texas isn't alone. The upper basin states, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, and Wyoming, face their own dilemmas. In Colorado, snowmelt feeds the system, but warming winters are reducing it. Nature and law are colliding. Utah's population is surging. Leaders push for long pipelines to tap remote supplies. Critics call it reckless. Meanwhile, the Great Salt Lake is reaching historic lows, exposing communities to toxic dust storms. New Mexico relies on the San Juan River, but reservoirs are drying. Agriculture is declining. Disputes with Texas are mounting. Albuquerque is already searching for distant sources. Even Wyoming is under pressure. Ranchers need early meltwater, but they must also send water downstream. And then the Native American tribes. They hold rights to nearly 1/4 of the river's water, yet many tribes still lack even the basic infrastructure needed to use it. This river built the modern West, but its foundation is cracking. Before dams and canals, the region was inhospitable. Native tribes lived along scattered rivers and springs, but large-scale settlement was impossible. That changed with the Hoover Dam in 1936. The All-American Canal soon followed. For the first time, cities like Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles could grow far beyond their natural limits. Agriculture exploded. The Imperial Valley became one of the most productive farming regions in the nation. Arizona built a 300-mile canal to carry water across the desert. Lettuce, citrus, cotton, suddenly, harvests thrived year-round. But dams delivered more than water. They produced power, fueling industry and entire cities. The Colorado River became the engine of the West. Now that the engine is breaking, reservoirs edge closer to the dead pool. Once levels sink too low, turbines stop spinning, power fails, farms lose supply, cities ration, aquifers drain. A system built on abundance now stares at scarcity. And still, construction continues. New suburbs rise, new farms expand. Demand keeps climbing. Leaders hesitate while the warnings grow louder. For decades, Washington saw this storm coming, but little was done. During the Obama years, reports flagged chronic overuse, yet diplomacy prevailed over enforcement. California's allotment stayed intact, while other states quietly cut back. Under Trump's first term, negotiations dragged on without resolution. States were told to strike compromises on their own. By 2021, emergency cuts arrived. Arizona and Nevada lost water. California did not. In 2023, talks collapsed again. California resisted deeper reductions. Washington backed away. Now, in 2025, Lake Mead hovers near dead pool. Hoover Dam is losing power. Cities are drilling deeper. Farms are shrinking. And still, no national solution exists. Why? Because water is political dynamite. California grows 1/3 of America's vegetables. It holds immense power in Congress. Cutting its share risks lawsuits, elections, and national food supplies. So leaders stall, and the river shrinks. But history offers warnings. In 1997, China's Yellow River failed to reach the sea for more than 200 days, drained by overuse. The Soviet Union diverted the Amu Darya and Sir Darya to grow cotton. The Aral Sea, once the world's fourth largest lake, vanished. Ports were stranded, dust storms poisoned regions, an entire ecosystem collapsed. The disaster was never fixed. Now the United States risks the same mistake. If the 7 states wait until Colorado is gone, there will be nothing left to negotiate. What do you think? Could America repeat the tragedies of the Yellow River and the Aral Sea? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, you'll want to check this one too.